Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. If you're new, what's up girl? My name is Dakota. I make a ton of content on this channel, included but not limited to story times, advice, content, lifestyle, and things of that nature. So if you enjoy what you see today, why don't you consider giving it a thumbs up. It really helps you with the algorithm here on YouTube. Also, while you're at it, hit the subscribe button. It is free. And turn your post notifications on by clicking that bell icon. That way you're notified every single time I post a video here on my channel, so you can see more of my face every single week. Now today's video is going to be everybody's favorite, which is a story time, but today's story time, they really want to cut grass right now. I just want to say today's video is a sponsored video. It is my first sponsored video on this channel, and I was lucky enough to get sponsored today by Keen. Keen is an online service where you can get connected with a ton of spiritual advisors, mediums, clairvoyants, and things of that nature in order to get personal details of things that are going on in your life. To get some insight in all of your life's questions, it could be from career to finance to love, or you can do what I did and just get a general reading and see what comes up for you. The amazing thing about Keen is that number one, it is super affordable, and number two, it is very convenient. You can literally get a reading done in the comfort of your own home via phone, text, email, if you don't like talking on the phone to somebody, or you're more so just an email or text conversation type of person. Keen makes everything accommodable to your personal needs. I personally love talking to my advisors on the phone. I think that it's super quick, it's easy, it's convenient. I can literally be sitting in my pajamas in my room and get all of my life's questions answered right there on the spot. The funny part is that before Keen even reached out to me, I'd actually already been actively using Keen on my own time for about 6 months. So I just thought that this collaboration aligned absolutely perfectly. I was using them long before they even reached out to me, and now they've reached out to me, I kind of just feel like it was meant to be. Ever needed any answers to any questions that I had, or some insight or some clarity on a certain department that I couldn't get insight and clarity on with myself, I would literally just go ahead on the website at any time of day, call, pick an advisor, schedule an appointment with them, call them, and just feel so much more relieved talking to somebody who could help me get these messages to me, because I couldn't get them myself. Which is why I'm so excited that Keen decided to partner with me so I could spread the knowledge and just the ease of having somebody there 24/7 to answer all your life's questions to you guys. Now, as I mentioned before, Keen is very, very affordable, which is my number one reason as to why I love this company so much, besides the convenience factor. You can actually browse a ton of spiritual advisors and sidekicks and mediums to see which one fits your budget, and you can pick them from a whole entire list. There's so many advisors on there from all around the world, but the best part about Keen also is the convenience factor. The signing up process is super easy. All you have to do is click on the link in the description, trykeen.com/Dakota, create an account by putting in your personalized email and a password, and finally completing a brief and short questionnaire that gives Keen a bit more of an insight as to which advisors they should match you with. Ask you what you're looking for in terms of maybe a love reading or a career reading. Perhaps you have questions about your finances, or maybe you want a more gentler approach when it comes to your advisor and who you're speaking to, or maybe you want someone who just tells it like it is and straight truth and to the point. This questionnaire just really helps refer you to the right spiritual advisors, and it really helps just align you with who is the best fit for you, so you can get the most accurate and precise reading possible. This brief questionnaire, Keen will give you a list of spiritual advisors that they think is the best fit for you, based off of your answers and recommendations. It's as simple as that. It takes no more than a few minutes, and before you know it, you have access to thousands of spiritual advisors to help answer your questions. The great thing about Keen is that it's also 24/7 at any time of any day. You can literally call them. You don't have to do an appointment. You can literally just go on there, call somebody, or if they're not available, you can set one for later. But if you're somebody who works a lot, this is probably the most convenient thing ever, because at any point, at any time, they are available to you. Which is why I really think that you guys should take advantage of this deal, because Keen was kind and sweet enough to give me a personalized link for you guys. As a new Keen customer, you can try your first 10 minutes for just $1.99. All you have to do is go to the link in the description, www.trykeen.com/Dakota, and get your first 10 minutes for only $1.99, which is an amazing deal in my opinion. I really think you guys should take advantage of this opportunity. I have a few readers that are near and dear to my heart and that I do go back to, but sometimes I just kind of want a new fresher aspect on it, and I go ahead and pick a new reader. Just because you pick one reader doesn't mean that you have to stick with them. You can try out a few until you find one that personally meets your needs, and that's a great thing about Keen too, is that there's diversity, there's opportunity, there's so many different things that you can do on there. Thank you, Keen, so much for sponsoring this video. Now, if you're ready to hear a story time about a reading that is scarily detailed and accurate about things that have been going on in my life for the past couple of weeks. I promise it's not going to be boring. It's going to be super juicy. It's going to be super entertaining. So go ahead and stay tuned. And once again, Keen, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. Now let's get on to the story time. My reading started out with this wonderful and sweet reader who I really connected with, and I just honestly loved so much. The beginning of the reading, she kind of went ahead and asked me about what I was looking for. Did I want general? Did I want specific questions answered? And of course, me being a type A personality, I already kind of picked out questions that I wanted to have answered, but I also wanted a general reading as well, just to kind of see what came up, what she saw, what she thought, and things like that. At the beginning of the reading, she had mentioned my YouTube channel, which I thought was absolutely crazy because, like I said, before you go ahead and meet with these spiritual advisors, they don't have any access to like your social media or anything like that. So she would have had absolutely no idea that I had a YouTube channel, this was my career, or anything of that nature. So she went ahead and brought it up, and she said that I was going to be very successful with it, but that also the person that I was currently with eventually down the line was going to basically help me with it. Like somehow their image was going to help me with my channel, and I've kind of dissected what that means. I don't really want to talk about it currently because I think that talking about things too early manifests negativity, but I fully understood what she was talking about. And I thought it was kind of crazy that she kind of knew that I was like dating somebody at the time. I'm not in a relationship, but I have been seeing somebody for a little bit of time now. You guys know that. I talked about it in a couple of videos. I just don't bring it up that much because it's my business. But she basically brought that up, and that was actually a question that I had. I kind of wanted to get some insight onto this connection, if she felt it was going to succeed, if she felt that it wasn't going to, and if it wasn't long term. And she actually told me that we were going to hit very recently a couple of rough patches, and she basically told me that we both had things that we needed to work on and completely let go from our past, and that until we moved on from them, things with us just weren't going to work out, and that she actually pictured us separating for some time. Now, at the time when she was saying that, I definitely was taking it with a grain of salt. I did understand that this is coming from a professional, but at the same time I was like, who knows, maybe it will happen, maybe it won't, you know, life is ongoing, it's always changing, who knows. But what I didn't know is that a couple days later, me and the person that I was talking to actually did separate. And we actually separated for a few weeks, and I'm not gonna lie, in my head I was like, I don't know if we're gonna get back together. I don't know if this is gonna happen. Maybe it's the end. Maybe I should just move on. In actuality, she was 100% right. We both did actually need to take a couple weeks off and really look inward at things that were going on in our lives. It's so important to heal from the past things that you've been through in order to improve yourself and in order to reinvent yourself. That way you don't bleed on people who didn't cut you from past traumas, from past relationships, and things of that nature. And so when this happened, I was just like, oh my God, like I am so shocked. But she did tell me not to worry, that as long as we healed properly and did the work on our own, that we were going to collectively come back together, and that she actually saw things being extremely successful and going well. And I am happy to say that we are talking again, that things are better than they've ever been. So that was a huge plus, but I just thought that was absolutely crazy how she predicted that and then it actually happened. So another super interesting point that she made was she was talking about the transition from the career that I once had to the career that I'm currently in. Now, if you guys follow me on my Instagram, if you don't, please go ahead and follow me. I go live there every single week, and I tell actually mini story times while I'm on live with you guys, because somehow the chisme always just comes up. But in one of my Instagram lives, I was telling you guys about how my boss from my previous job did try to scam me, and that I was going to be doing a story time on it once some details were smoothed out. And she basically said that she was seeing that I had a very rough transition from my job to my current one, and that basically she felt as if it was like it had to happen, like it was the universe aligning, basically telling me that I was meant to leave there and do YouTube full time and take a leap of faith and trust that it was going to work out, and that I basically made the right decision, that she saw that, you know, the job environment that I was in was super toxic and super misleading, and that this basically is on like my life path, like it's basically supposed to happen to get me to where I need to be, and that I'm going to look back one day, I'm going to see that. And that she also encourages me to keep sharing my stories in my life because they really help other women out there, and they help you guys as well. So she said for me to basically keep being transparent, keep being myself, and that I'm basically on the right path, and that, you know, more things are going to come up into fruition and more amazing things are going to happen from me telling my stories. But for right now, not to worry and not to put too much pressure on myself, because I am on the right path, and that this is something that was supposed to happen into my life to kind of catapult me to where I am today. She did tell me that when, you know, my following starts rising and things like that, that basically some snakes are going to come out of the woods, and that I'm going to see people for who they actually are. And it's actually funny because things like that have been happening recently, where I'm kind of seeing people for how they are, and you know, how their aura and how their energy is and things like that. And of course I think she means this will happen more down the line, but I think that it actually is happening as like I'm growing and things like that. So she did tell me to keep an eye out for that and be very, very, very careful of who I allow in my life, who I let around me, who I let influence me, not to get distracted and to just really stay on the right course. Also, if you guys want that story time where I was talking about my previous job and things like that, let me know down below. Maybe I will record it this week and get it out for you guys. I think that would be super exciting. Now, the last and final thing that she told me, which is going to, again, be a whole other different story time, but just to give you guys a brief synopsis because I thought this was pretty cool. She told me that I need to be super, super careful of making sure that I'm cleansing myself every day, you know, doing my meditations, having my mental clarity, taking my spiritual baths, you know, burning my Palo Santo, using my crystals and things like that, because she told me that she saw that there were certain people, maybe not in my life, but could just be like acquaintances or just watching or just around, and I might not even notice. Sometimes I'm kind of oblivious to those things, that don't have the best intentions. What I mean by that is they see things that I'm doing as something that, you know, like they would want to be doing, or something that they want to do but don't know how to, and that they're kind of giving me a little bit of like, not an evil eye, but I guess just like words turn into how we feel about ourselves, right? So maybe not speaking the best about me, and that could rub off on me if I'm not protected. So she's saying basically just make sure that I'm, you know, keeping up on my spiritual hygiene, keeping up my spiritual practices. And so the message that I wanted to get out to you guys is make sure that you guys are doing the same thing too, because honestly, you could literally go out to like a Walmart, you can go out to a Target, you can go to a library, okay? The most, like, just the best place in the whole entire world. Barnes & Noble, like, is the most holiest place in my opinion, okay? And you could have an interaction with a rude person, somebody could accidentally bump against you. You could have a rude exchange with a cashier. Energy is so transferable. I think it's so important that we protect and cleanse ourselves. So what I like to do is every morning when I wake up, I like to picture a white and golden light surrounding my whole body, almost as like a shield, so that anything that tries to come at me completely ricochets and goes back to the person who's trying to send me any negativity or just any energy that's nothing but love and light. And I like to do that. I've been noticing a huge difference within my just self-esteem lately, with how I feel about myself and my creativity. For a while there, you guys probably know I wasn't really posting, and it was because I just didn't have that creative spark. I didn't have that creative energy, and I felt like heavy. I felt a heaviness within me, like somebody was throwing shade my way or negativity or something like that. So I made sure to listen to her and to really up myself on my spiritual hygiene. So every single Sunday I take a spiritual bath. I put some herbs in the water, some Himalayan salt, some Florida water, and I really just sit there and soak and picture any negativity just leaving my body, and I just feel so much better. I make sure that I light my white candles for purification. I make sure that I always carry black tourmaline or black onyx with me, or hematite, which basically it absorbs any negativity that gets kind of put into your energetic field. So when she told me that, I was completely shocked, because a couple weeks later something ended up happening where I found out I had like a huge case of somebody evil eyeing me. Absolutely insane. And I was able to really cleanse myself and completely get rid of that, and now I just feel so much better. So I have so much more energy, so much more creativity, so much more productivity is coming out of me. So I really wanted to encourage you guys to do the same thing. Like I said, that's going to be another story time for another time, because if I told that story now, it would just take up way too much time on this video. And then we ended the conversation with some future goals that I had, and she had some clarity and advice for me on those as well. I'm not going to get into it because I feel like if I tell all of my goals right now, it's going to just manifest bad luck onto them. But she told me some really cool and exciting things that are coming up, and if they do end up coming up, I will be sure to share those with you guys. I've been going to psychic since I was younger. My mom has always been into spirituality as well. She's an Aquarius, I'm a Pisces. It's kind of just like in our blood. Early age with her mother, my grandma, who is now passed, who it was also very, very spiritually gifted. And I can't remember the first time that I went to my reading, but they always were pretty accurate, whether I got them on the phone, whether I went in person, or things like that. So I've been getting readings for literally years now. It's something that I like to do once a year, also as spiritual hygiene, just to give me kind of clarification and messages and things like that. So if you guys have never gotten a reading before and you're a little bit skeptical, or if you have gotten a reading before and you just want the convenience of having a reading from your home or on your own time, go ahead and try and key now. Like I said, if you click the link in my bio, www.trykeen.com/Dakota, you guys can get your first 10 minutes for just $1.99. You're basically getting a reading for $1.99, which is absolutely amazing. Steal of a deal. You can make your profile super easily in just a few minutes. Once again, Keen, thank you so much for sponsoring this video. I cannot thank you guys enough for allowing me to partner with you, and I'm also super excited for my followers to take advantage of this deal that they currently have going on. If you guys need any help with it, go ahead and DM me on my Instagram and I can help you walk through the process. But with the video and with my explanation, I'm pretty sure you guys won't have a hard time at all. It's super easy, and Keen is a great and trusted company, so I really encourage you guys to take advantage of this opportunity so you can get your life's questions answered, clarity on a situation. I mean, 10 minutes is a long time for only $1.99. That's a good reading you can get right there. I remember when I first started Keen, I was actually watching Haley Reese's video. We love Haley Reese on this channel. Haley Reese, Andrew, oh my god, Andrew TMI. I am manifesting a collaboration with Andrew TMI and Samantha Joe, because if I don't get one, my life isn't real. Like, it's just not. I love them so much. But anyway, I got completely off topic. The first time I heard about Keen was through Haley Reese. If you don't know who she basically is like a paranormal content creator. I love her so much. Haley is the most like pure energy I think this earth has ever been graced with, and I am obsessed with her. But she was talking about a reading that she got on Keen. That's when I first found out about Keen, and I actually took advantage of the deal that she had going on, which is the same one that I had going on, which is a 10-minute reading for $1.99. When I tell you that I got connected with the sweetest advisor ever, I love her so much. We still stay in contact to this day. This reading that I got on this story time was actually a different reader. I wanted a new, fresher perspective, but I loved her so much. She answered so many questions that I had going on during that time in my life, which I believe was last October, in just 10 minutes. So definitely take advantage of this offer, you guys. It is absolutely amazing, and I really think you won't regret it. And for $1.99, like for cheaper than a Starbucks coffee, you can get an amazing, detailed, in-depth reading to really help you out and just give you perspective on things. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn your post notifications on. While you're at it, go ahead and follow all my socials, which are always linked in the description for your convenience. And while you're at it too, follow my podcast, The Millennial Empath. I post new content on there every single Monday. It's a personal development podcast I think you guys would really love and enjoy. Once again, thank you to Keen so much for sponsoring this video. Thank you guys for watching and always just supporting me and uplifting me and wanting what is best for me and having good intentions. I love you guys so much. I will never in my life take you guys for granted, and thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.